Okay, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. My name is Kiara Strings, I'm a transgender woman, and I am going to try to beat the rest of Grand Theft Auto 5. So, I am going to try to beat this game today, and I can because this is the last mission. I can and I will. You can't make me. I have Kingdom Hearts being installed, the entire HD collection, right now. I have it installed right now in my what's it called? In my Xbox. I got the entire HD collection. But I'm gonna play Resident Evil Biohazard after this. If I'm not too scared. It is Friday after all, why not treat myself? So, when I logged off from Twitch, or when I got off Twitch, I looked around, I randomly reminded myself about the Nick Cannon show, which I, kind of forgot to do. I mean, you gotta understand, the Nick Cannon show was kind of like a blip on Nick Cannon's radar because it wasn't a good show. Like, I found out yesterday that it lasted 2 seasons. Not 1, 2 seasons. And,
Hey, Lamar.
I saw the intro to it. It's a very, very, very 2000 show. You could tell when it was a 2000 because of like, the intro is so like stylized, like in a way like you see shows like Cribs, like it gives you kind of a headache, and I almost had to turn it off. Well, not turn it off. I was talking to a few people on Twitch while I was just browsing around on YouTube, and I saw the Nick Cannon show intro. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely a 2000 show. It's not a very good show, although I wouldn't say it's completely without some merits. Like, it is better than the Nickelodeon live-action TV shows that came out like later on, but that's not saying much. I mean, it's very goofy and over the top, but even as a kid it wasn't for me. But I'll admit there is one thing that they tried that they which actually got me a little bit interested and actually made me realize like there was a little bit more to this. Like, they did something different. It's not like the usual Nick Cannon is taking over, like taking over your family, taking over whatever. And at the end of each episode, apparently Nick Cannon has taken over. He writes in every episode, pretty much at the end of every episode, Nick Cannon has taken over. I'm like, okay. And the thing was, some of the episode I saw like yesterday, was a parody of E Hollywood Story, which was about Nick Cannon's character from one of his character, like his character from he's what's it called? Okay, what do I do? I forgot. Get rid of Chang. Okay. So what happened was it started off like very normally, like Nick Cannon is in front of a school and the kids are bored and with nothing to do. I'm like, because what's it called? Like, it was more like it was one of those like, okay, we're bored, we have nothing to do. It's like Nick Cannon's like, okay, nothing to do. Okay, I'm gonna take over recreation. And before the episode actually starts, like the intro is about to start, and then it's interrupted by an Hollywood true story, and it's about one of Nick Cannon's female characters from All That. And I thought it wasn't great, but I thought it was like a different direction because actually it played a couple of things like really straight. Like it was over the top, sure, but it kind of the main segment, which was about like doing the interviews, like Usher was like I forgot the Nick Cannon's character's name on All That, but the female he played, but I actually thought it was actually pretty interesting, honestly. Like how like honestly, like how straight and serious they kind of played it as like as a fictional character. And at one point Nick Cannon himself was in it because he was like apparently it was a family member, like she was a family member, and I thought it was pretty funny.
That was him.
And yeah, but yeah, it was fun. It was kind of funny because it was just something completely different, like something like not really seen much before. You know, and it was like it was stupid and silly, but it was just it was stupid, sure, but at the same time it was like, oh, okay, like they're doing something different, and we're just gonna like have fun with it. So yeah, it wasn't every episode wasn't Nick Cannon's taking over something. It was like like something completely different. And at one point Kenan Thompson's character from who was like, okay, so Nick Cannon's female character was in a character on All That, and she, like, he and Kenan Thompson played like women who worked at an convenience store, and like it was pretty much like an over the top as you can get, because this was before Medea and this was after Eddie Murphy, so you could dress as a black man dressing up as a woman, so you know you could be successful. Not funny, but successful. But at one point Kenan Thompson's character from that show came about, and you could tell, like, at first his character was shrouded in shadow, and yeah, just to hide the identity, but it's clearly like Kenan Thompson's character. It's clearly like his character, and then all of a sudden the shadow goes away and it's revealed that who she is. And he's like, oh, you gotta do me dirty now? And it's like, and he just starts backtracking, and it's actually quite funny. And at one point he's like, she is like, I think she's a wonderful human being because she's a humanitarian. I genuinely like laughed at that.
Hey, I got out clean. You dudes ain't gonna have no more triads coming after.
We ain't gonna have anyone to sell super weapons to either, but hey-ho! Who's up? We still gotta do Stretch and Agent Haynes.
Alright. But that was actually kind of funny. It didn't make me laugh all the way through. It didn't make me laugh much, but it was something different. It was like a breath of fresh air. It didn't have to go like stupid over the top, you know? So at least there was that. But yeah, that show is not great, but at least it again tried something different. I mean, I wouldn't have liked that show back then when I was a kid. I wouldn't have liked that episode because it was just too different. I'm like, I don't get it. What's this Hollywood story?
Break the order of things. Hey, who this shaky white dude? Hey, where the fuck?
Get out the fucking way.
Hey, that's no problem, my nigga, my man. Hey, man, he clapped first, man. Get him.
And amazingly enough, I looked at the comments to Nick Cannon's like intro on YouTube, and not many people actually have the same like most. There was one comment that actually stuck out to me, and it was, "Oh yeah, I forgot about this show. It sucked." That was pretty much it, and I thought that was pretty funny. Not funny, but like it's true. Like that show wasn't good. Like, at all. That show was not a good show.
Your pal, Stretch? He ain't a problem no more, Frank.
Shit, he wasn't my pal. He was a dude who ganked us, homie. Thanks. So who we got, man? What happens next is plant Steve Haynes in the dirt.
Alright, well, I could have done this, like... I could have done this yesterday. Oh, screw it. Oh man, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I really do like this Britney Spears song. I think this is one of my favorites,
I'm
like
moving on
ever.
Haynes. Les, see if you can patch me into his radio mic. I want a last reminder of what an annoying prick he is.
Los Santos.
Like I really.
A city of saints, a city of sinners, and nothing in between but the FIB.
Cut. God, this is crap.
Who writes this bullshit anyway?
You do.
All right, you got this framed right?
Yeah, you're looking great.
Is the chin? How's the chin?
Oh, sharp.
All right, the audio's clean.
Nice. Well, say something.
Check.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, fine. We're on. I'm ready. You ready?
Speed.
All right, let's do this, people. I'm a professional. Let's go. Hi, I'm Steve Haynes. Is Los Santos. A city of scumbags. The last...
That Britney Spears song, I remember when it came out and everybody was just like nobody really liked that song, mostly because it was just nobody liked it. Like, here's the thing, like it came out during that period where Britney Spears was not doing that well. So there's that. But no, I slowly got to like really like that song eventually. Like it's not a bad song. I actually listened to that song more, Give Me More, than any other of her other songs. That's saying that's kind of saying a lot. Like that's gotta be saying something when I can actually listen to Britney, and I don't think she's a. I didn't really hate her music. It was more like it wasn't for me. But yeah, I genuinely just like that song. You know, it's an okay, like. Oh God. Sorry, I'm concentrating. I have no idea. Yeah, so that Britney Spears song, it's a decent song. It's just that I haven't like. Again, it was made during a time when Britney Spears wasn't doing too well, And I got really, at one point I got really tired of just hearing on the radio like Britney Spears, this is what happened to Britney Spears, this is what happened to Britney Spears. It got really tiring. So I'm glad that there was that South Park episode where she blew, like, even people like on the news and the episode of South Park where Britney Spears was just hogging the news all day.
God! Guy! What's his name? He shot him!
Requesting backup for 187 SL Carroll Pier. Victim reported as FIB agent detained.
But
Suspect is a possible 918 victim.
it wasn't like not a like, I think it was because that new song was like, because of the fact that she performed that song for the first time when she was not doing too well, like that performance where she what's it called, she performed and she was like kind of slogging it a little bit. Like she didn't look too well, like she was kind of out of shape, and she didn't like, she was like, and to be fair, I did make fun of her for it when I was in college. I mean, not college, but high school, because I didn't know any better. I'm like, because I was so sick and tired of like hearing about her every day on the radio. You know? So, yeah, there was that. There was like all that. And speaking of all that, I kind of forgot. Who remembers that her sister Jamie Lynn Spears was on all that? I don't think many people remember. And I actually remember when her very first episode, when she was on the show. And it was like, her very first episode was more like an introduction, and then she didn't really do much else. Like everybody else on the show when she joined the cast actually had like their moments and their quirks, but she was just sort of there.
I dealt with Haynes. You got a location on Devin Weston yet?
Yeah, I do. A Merryweather team was dispatched to protect him in his house in the Tonga Hills. I say house, that's more...
Yeah.
Like,
I'll go up there and get him.
It wasn't like I didn't know about all that until it was like it premiered on the Family Channel. And what happened was, I think like this was way after Amanda Bynes and Kenan Thompson left, so this was around 03. And yeah, it was around that time, and I just like couldn't get into it really. Like I did get into it, I watched, I laughed at a few things, but all that was pretty much like a kid's version of Saturday Night Live, except like it was a little bit more funny. And here's the thing about Saturday Night Live, like people are like, oh, the show hasn't been good since so and so left. I'm like, it was, bring back so and so, it was a lot better when they were around. I'm like, it was a lot better. It's like, the show was a lot better when it first started. And like, have you seen the show when it first started recently? It's not that great. I mean, the only reason that people look at it fondly is because there was like 4 or 5 like standout sketches or recurring gags that made the show more watchable. But other than that, it was just filler. Just like 40% of Saturday Night Live, like a lot of it is kind of filler and doesn't work. But then again, they have like a crunch. They have some sort of like crunch to get the show alive, and it's like, and Lauren Michaels is like, no, the show's not ready when it's ready. It's ready because it's 11:30 on a Saturday. I'm like, yeah, that he's using it as a crutch. Like I understand, I do, like on the one hand, I do agree. Like it's become sort of a crutch for Saturday Night Live, but on the other hand, South Park does episodes in 6 days. Like at the beginning of the show, like South Park, it was like done in like 4 or 5 days. And they work really, really hard. I can see why they cut down on the episode count, to be honest. Because they work really hard. And like, if you're doing, like at the beginning, they actually did what? 15, 16 episodes a season? And like, that is... Oh boy. Like, here's the thing. That is like an accomplishment and do enough. That is an accomplishment, just doing like this show for doing the show for like several years, 6 days, like in 6 days. Every episode is made in 6 days, and there's that behind the scenes special with South Park where they actually like look behind the scenes, and credit where it's due. Even though for all its flaws that South Park has, protect DW, Arthur's sister.
But I know you're reptile.
But it's actually quite interesting to see.
I'm a walking combat situation, assholes. Ah!
Like sometimes you gotta like with Simpsons, it takes like months for it to happen, like months for every episode to be like written. But yeah. No, thank you. I don't want to go down, but thank you.
Don't let him get to DW. You can't hide forever.
I don't think they're hiding. It's just that I don't know where they're gone. Something.
I'm the definition of SP. I'm the most suspicious person you'll meet.
Kidnap Devin. Yeah, but like I haven't watched South Park in a while, but I know it's like a kind of completely different show, and people complain about that. I'm like, where do you go with a popular show like South Park? Where do you go from that? Like you go from...
What do you mean all our operatives are dead?
Oh dear. Oh, okay. He's in there.
No more talking.
Oh, this is gonna turn into like Eminem's like Godzilla, isn't it? And the like for the whole time he's like kidnapping himself. Some asshole decided to park his car right in front of the gate.
I got Mr. Weston.
But
Take him out of the city,
some
make him
people actually
disappear.
complain that
Meet me
South
on the
Park
cliff
changed.
off
I'm
the
like, where do you go
GOH,
after you
Chiliad
make
Mountain
nothing but
State Wilderness.
random potty humor in the beginning, which they didn't like? Then you have to go to like, it was either that or end the show. And like, I know the creators have a lot of creativity in the bank, even though like it has its up and downs. I mean, every show has its ups and downs when it's lasted more than 6 years. Like, look at It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Well, I can't say anything about that, even though that show has its weak points. Although people are like, I was actually there for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia before Danny DeVito joined the cast. I just started watching it. The first episode of It's Always Sunny I ever watched was The Gang Gets a Gun. That was the very first episode I ever watched. And yeah, I thought it was actually pretty funny. It was like really dark and whatnot. It was dark humor, and they were swearing. I'm like, oh my god, they're swearing. Now this is before like I got to watch like shows that actually had swearing. So like I was really excited to watch shows. This is before the internet became what it was, and I just stopped watching
And the
TV.
people who ain't gotta go.
You know?
Me, I'm
So,
not rational.
it was,
I don't care
like,
if
fun.
You're useful or not. I feel like taking you out, Devo. So that's what I'm doing.
This is a serious
Ah,
offer.
Devo.
Work for me. You'll have everything you'll ever wanted.
All I've ever wanted is to watch you drift in and out of consciousness as you're slowly disemboweled.
Yes, yes, that's the kind of creativity I need on my team. Come on, let me out of here.
Look, I got my own company, Trevor Phillips Industries.
Oh yeah.
Well, what about Captain Phillips? Can you rip that off? No one's gonna know. It's been gonna be several years before that happens.
I'm gold rich right now, so you got precisely nothing to offer. Prepare for the end, my friend.
I'm gonna get you.
Oh.
This is why people
Hard to
wanna
believe
kill you.
I've been playing
You
this
won't
game for
shut
6
up.
days straight.
Oh, you shitbag!
You're making a mistake.
This is why the people I put in my trunk are usually dead.
You're a dead man.
So I actually ended up, for some random reason, watching The Shining. Like, for some random reason, I ended up watching scenes from The Shining. Which is a movie I want to watch. Holy shit, that scared me. Man, that scared me. But,
We're swapping insurance details.
I haven't watched that movie in its entirety until, like, since grade 6. I think I discussed this, but I watched it in grade 6 with my 2 younger sisters. None of us were scared, but we were like, oh, this is, like, intensely
Here we are,
eerie.
Slick, with a few minutes for some one-on-one time.
He sat in that car for several hours.
Hey, we good, T?
Never better, amigo.
Good.
Franklin?
I'll be here. Franklin,
Hey, what's up?
I assume you got him?
Ooh, safe and sound. Ain't that right, buddy?
Hey, my bad, homie. I picked C. Ain't that a bitch?
You know, Devin, the way I see it, and hey, I'm no intelligent businessman like you, but the way I see it, there's 2 great evils that bedevil American capitalism of the type that you practice. Number 1 is outsourcing. You paid a private company to do your dirty work for you, and then you underpaid that company because you thought you were big enough and bad enough that you didn't have to play by the rules. Oh, number 2, offshoring your profits.
Offshore?
Oh, it's horrible. You wouldn't want to be sent offshore just to save a little money, would you, T?
No,
Franklin?
I wouldn't.
Oh, nah, I
Would
ain't
you
going
want?
nowhere.
No, see, but we know your opinions on the matter, Devin. Keep your problems the fuck out of America, huh?
In this instance, puts it like that, it makes sense.
Of course it does. Hey, Devin. Goodbye, my old friend. Thanks for all the advice.
Bye-bye.
You know, I could have just, crashed the car and blew him up with a rocket launcher. That never happened before.
So now what?
Now we keep a low profile and get on with our lives.
As friends?
Well, do I have a choice?
No, not really.
All right, then. As, flawed, awful, totally uncomfortable, and poorly matched friends. Absolutely.
Oh, that's perfect. Then we can get back practice.
Shit, I don't know how much more behind.
Whip Franklin, civilization's greatest virtue.
Jesus, your therapist has a lot to answer for.
I know, I still hate myself. But hey, at least I know the words for it now.
Yeah, but I hate you, and I know the words for it. So does that mean I don't have to go to therapy?
Look, man, you two motherfuckers terrify me of that middle age. I'm good.
You're right to be afraid, Franklin.
Yeah.
Be very afraid, Franklin. Tell you one thing, T. I'm getting too old for this nonsense.
Oh, come on, you can't say shit. Or is that copyright? Is this the end? I could have played this for like 20 more minutes yesterday. Oh, well. Oh my god, that's the game? Okay. Holy crap. I could have played the rest of this yesterday. I thought there was more than this. Alright, well. Huh. Alright, well. I guess that's the game. Took me 30 minutes to beat the small part of the game. I thought it was going to take me a lot longer. Oh my god. So, I don't know which game to play now. I'm downloading Kingdom Hearts now. I have Resident Evil Biohazard right here. But that would mean I have to install it. Shoot. Yeah, I don't know which game to play now. Oh, cool. I could actually, like, what's it called? Patient, drama. Tragic. Riddled with contradictory issues. Tries to do the right thing. Poor judgment. Self-justifying fool. Not as bad a thief as him. Not much of a yogi. Hard to surprise. Likes to stick with it. Not bother with tasks. They do. Don't know if they need help, but I do. But I know I do. Yeah. That pretty much sums up me in a nutshell. Yeah, I'll save. Holy crap, that is a huge amount of money. Now now that the game is over, I could do something else. I could just play another game. Shit. Yeah, I could just play another game. Damn, I actually thought that would take longer. So I'm gonna switch games. I'll be back in a while, but thank you for watching me play Grand Theft Auto 4. And I will see you all. I mean, eventually I'll come back to the online mode, but I'm good for now. So thank you for watching and take care.